Ye of little or no faith. Matter sees the Spirit's wraith. The negativity is personal. If what I see is real, sharpness and storms are above wisdom, justice, and fertility in this spiel. And this next one, Zarathustrian religion, philosophy, and history. That doesn't sound like a Nargargole Shlod video, so let's comment on this before I move on. And there's a reptile moving, scratching his way away. He probably wants food. It's a new month. You know, it's the second of the month. So he needs a fresh dish. I think Zarathustra would be pleased to know he was the most influential prophet in history till about 1300 years ago, when the title switched over to someone else who had already died. I believe Zarathustra would be displeased with the priest and statecraft attributed to him. Society tends to act like the material and social culture was the message of a prophet, to the point that they make the same they opposed out to be following the prophet. People who actively work towards ideal tend to achieve more in life. Towards the ideal tend to achieve more in life. All true prophets came to remove the excuse for tribalism and fatalism. By true prophets, I mean the Ashaist rather than the Drugist. It is important to distinguish truth in religion from mere reality and tradition. All philosophy should be inspired by the revelation and inspiration from God upon the prophets. Or certainly you got to admit that whatever you consider a God is what to do that with. Okay, hold on, I missed one. The best rulers tend to be preferred over others by those who believe differently than them. Some of the revival movements are authentic in their intentions and far better than nothing. What is this one? Getting down to basics. I'm going to look and find out more about this before I get into this. Okay, what is... Come on. The Judeo... Okay, I'm going to figure out... The Judeo-Christian Bible talks about taking off the natural man too. The Bhagavad Gita also talks of how choice of what to worship determines the sort of character you have and the type of afterlife you will have. I see encircling rites as cosmological and symbolic rather than raising power. I agree that rituals should not be done because they are rituals, but for relevance. Okay, what's... Okay, yeah, that wasn't a Nargargole Shlod video. Maybe it was Draconium Arcanum, something like that. Ahriman, Zohak, and Kundalini in a nutshell. And let's see what I had to say on that. Things are really spaced out. I don't know why AOL Mail had done this to me. No wonder why people are not using AOL Mail, because I definitely did not select the font to take up pages for my titles. Okay. Mazda Yasnahe Zarathustrahe is the oldest name for Kanon Zardosht in the Avestan for what we call Mazdayasnian Zarathustrian. Zarathustrish is another variation of that term. And okay, here's another line. Zarathustra did not claim to found a religion, neither did Muhammad to Jesus and the rest of the Israelite prophets. Okay, I'm going to go back to the beginning because this is... The title for the email that I sent off that I'm sharing from today is Love of Man or God often goes outside of just doing what the self wants. Okay. Here I am. Okay, I'll just scroll down. You know, your true will is not externally, socially imposed, nor is it what you've contrived in yourself. So, when you're talking about real love, it's not a sociopathic or a psychopathic thing. I guess that's real love too, but things are... Okay, what did I say? Zarathustra did not claim to found a religion, neither did Muhammad to Jesus and the rest of the Israelite prophets. Mazdayasnahe Zarathustrahe is the oldest name for Kanon Zardosht in the Avestan for what is called Mazdayasnian Zarathustrian. Zarathustrian. The evidence is more that the Mobad and Magian reworked the faith's tradition a number of times in what may be the last 8,000 years. I personally side more with 4,000, but they say 8,000, which also makes a lot of sense with the symbology. Okay. If Curtis Joseph knew his stuff, he'd know that the Avestas predate most of what we call Hinduism, and the differences in yeah, 1700 BCE is actually before most of the Hindu text. Now they have roots before that, but a lot of them do. Persian languages and the languages of the other 4 of the 5 tribes are the insults upon each other's side, on the other side, rather I'm sorry about all these spaces, people. Rather than him demonizing. If Zarathustra is not a prophet that appeared when the two cultures were one or later, but was counteracting a religion, it was clearly the Yazidi faith in its pre-Arabic forms that stretched back historically 15,000 years in archaeological finds rather than the later Vedic faith, which has its roots in what may go back to the extinct types of humans. Rather than just the civilized human of the past 40,000 years, like the Avestan and possibly older language stuff does. Well, I mean the culture of the Yazidi that was put in. Zohak, son of Mardas, Krutasip, persecuted his religious father unto death and did various horrible things till Ahriman supposedly accepted him as a drujvant, as if he was a dava, or fallen angel, firebeing. 2. Ahriman was said to help increase him in evils such as murder and blasphemy. Faradun was said to imprison Zohak at Mount Demivan at the behest of angel Sarosh. His hell is that a rooster hearkens the angel, increasing his chain almost before he is to break. Free from the chains that weaken him at dawn. The Majus, or magician in the old sense, is to pray at dawn. And 4 other times, right? Is this what you want with your black sun and black fame? Is this what you want with your black sun and black flame of transformation and whatever you make it? "30 pages? 30 pages in between lines? No one in their right mind would share things like that." I am presenting the actual extent gathas in English and starting to share from my years of study to show the path that affirms the good of the physical and spiritual worlds without being backwards and twisting everything to the dark side. So what do you want, and how is that going to interfere? What does society want, and how's that going to interfere? What is your, what do you perceive that may not be the case? I mean, your judgment based on what you perceive, too. You might want to figure out what your familiar animal, whether you have one or not, is. I mean, maybe I phrased that wrong, but favorite animal, animal with some sort of self-identification. I'm going to. God is evil, Christian versus Satanist. Okay. Come on. Five tips to love your body. Okay, what's going on there? I'm gonna comment on that. The spacing on these things is crazy. Okay. Loving the body would mean not just taking care of it, but not disguising it by makeup, perfume, and form-altering okay. Hold on. Form-altering clothing. So you hated your body as part of early puberty disorder? The body is a vehicle, and the importance is mainly believing and doing what is right in it. Beauty can be in thickness and thinness, but self-image needs to be realistic. Oh, no. And can be better when not focused on the shallow. Love as a noun and verb should be just as spacing on these is crazy. Okay, I'm going to go back up the other side. Hermit. I'm starting to see the Six of Cups is the minor arcana tarot card, most about childhood, and the trump might be the Hierophant or the Hermit. The values of childhood can be carried over to adulthood or returned to. The most important features of childhood are innocence, flexibility, and playfulness. Not going to cover the song, but one gets the idea. Now, this in particular, I wish somebody would have been able to join me with this one, because this is really something to get through, isn't it? Doo 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 doo. Ooh 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 ooh. No, that's another song. That is Google, Christian versus Satanist. Okay, is that what I'm sharing here? I know what I want. Do you know the secret of the following? Or perhaps one may understand what words I'm thinking of with this. Priest and statecraft is even opposed within tithing for churches and synagogues as a scam of the professional. Okay, I'll just tell you what. No. Okay, strikers, cowardice. 18th. The demon Acomana said this to me. Luciferian and Satanism, brief comparison. Staff of Cain. Okay, what is... Stop putting crap on other occult belief systems. Well, if something's wrong... Who are you to tell me not to, we're not to put my crap... Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that as is. I'm sorry for a long, drawn-out video.